Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. It's indeed a great honor to give me a talk about functional neurosurgery in the scientific session of 33rd Annual Conference 2021. And I would just go into the history and update you what is the status now in this country. Uh, uh, we have the largest neurosciences place in Pakistan and perhaps in this region is the Punjab Institute of Neurosciences. It's a 500 bedded facility just dedicated to neurosurgery, neurology, radiology, anesthesia, and neuropathology. Now, as you all know that DBS was invented by Professor Benabed, and the first DBS was done in 1987, and the STN DBS was done in 1993. This was the work started in Europe, and it was in the experimental phase. And you know that it was approved in 1998, and years after it got spread to America. So what happened before it got finally approved in Europe? In 1997, a workshop was announced in Sitges, Spain. I was working in Newcastle at that time. And due to my interest in functional neurosurgery, I traveled with my consultant to Sitges, where all the Americans actually came, and the Europeans, Professor Benabed and others, they shared, and Italians and others, they shared their initial experience, how the DBS works, and there was some hands-on session and mainly theoretical. And I really got very excited, and I dreamed that maybe one day I would be able to DBS wherever I was working. At that time, it had not started in UK. So I still have got all the notes I made at that time in 1997, when it was not approved in America and even in Europe. So as you know, in Pakistan, we have incidence of this disease, and there are quite a lot of patients, and they're just all speculations, but perhaps there are more than 50,000 cases of patients who will need deep brain stimulation surgery. As you know, Professor Bashir Ahmed, when he came back from Newcastle, he started neurosurgery in Nishtar Medical College in 1964. And he had a great interest in thalamotomy at that time. At that time, thalamotomy was the best operation you could do. And this was, he started at Nishtar, and when he moved to Lahore General Hospital, he brought his frame with him on the train, and he was doing X-ray based thalamotomy for tremors only. And he continued doing it till he retired in 1994, and he performed 2,000 thalamotomies. He trained his nephew, Professor Nazir Ahmed, who took over the flag and did another 200 cases up till his retirement, up to 2010. And the only thing he added was, rather than air ventriculogram, he used to use the non-ionic contrast medium, but it was still extra based. And I think during this time, if I remember correctly, Professor Rashid Joma, he started using CT scan. I'm not sure about the history because, but I think he did use CT scan, but in Punjab, in Lahore, it was mainly X-ray based and air or non-ionic contrast. Professor Sattar Hashim would correct me. And now I was working, when I came back from England in 1999, I was working in Mayo Hospital where there was no frame. So my passion was dead. I moved to Lahore General Hospital when I got appointed as associate professor in 2005. And at that time, the preparations were being made to modernize functional neurosurgery. So what happened? New Lexel G frame was purchased in 2005, and 1.5 Tesla MRI was purchased in 2005 while I was working as an associate professor. At the same time, in 2011, the digital address, I was like in charge of the purchases. These purchases were being done by Professor Tariq Salahuddin. I was associate professor. So due to my interest, he was very kind to ask me, which I suggested, that we should purchase a Shelter brand digital atlas, which costed 1 crore rupees at that time. And then we also purchased Cosman RF generator. You heard a talk of balloon compression, and we purchased this in 2011. And from 2011 till date, we're going to upgrade it now. We have done more than 300 rhizotomies. And there are so many papers and theses and things have been written, and the work has been presented at the different national forum. We also purchased in 2011 the modern fluoroscope, the GE fluoroscope. Now you can see this was the old RF generator during Professor Bashir time, and this is the new that was purchased in 2011. This was the sort of very famous map which was used by Professor Bashir Ahmed and Professor Nazir Ahmed to actually calculate the target. Once I asked Professor Nazir to teach me how you do that, and I found it very complicated, to be honest, but he was used to it. But the accuracy was there. So, but you can see this is the modern MRI scan with the Surgiplan and modern stereotactic frame. The things are getting better and better with the new technology. This is the air ventriculogram based picture, and this is the frame is there, and then you put the crossbars and you get a X-ray to find the final tip of the DBS lead. Now, in this quest to improve the functional neurosurgery and modernize it, we started, because we had got the equipment, and we did the first case of thalamotomy on the modern line. This was not the classic thalamotomy, but it was the VIM thalamotomy. You know, over the years, the targets keep on changing. So the change was that we started with the VIM thalamotomy, and it was done as you do the DBS, although we had no access to the DBS at that time. So we use MRI, we use the Lexel G frame, we use the stimulation, we confirm the target, then we made a control lesion, and so it was done all that. So we had got a great rehearsal of actually doing these cases. And after few years, in 2012, I did the first GPI pallidotomy for a case of Parkinson's disease for rigidity. And that was a great relief for me. And we expanded it to doing GPI pallidotomy for dystonia. So then it became a routine to do the VIM thalamotomy for tremors and GPI pallidotomy mainly for dystonias or rigidity predominant Parkinson's disease. STN lesion, I did few cases, but the results were not good, so I abandoned that. And then I thought we should move toward the DBS because it was just a switching. You do stimulate and you burn, you stimulate and you put a lead, and that's called the DBS. We had all the training and we had everything, but we had to refine ourselves a little bit more. So how we did that, the visualization of the STN on 1.5 Tesla MRI was a big problem, and it took me a year actually to visualize it because the software, the technologists, they were not putting the right information in the right sequence, and it was all blurred. So there was a technician from Singapore who came, and I took his help, and we succeeded in clearly visualizing the red nucleus and then calculating the STN lateral to it. And that was our first success in 2013. In 2014, I did 2 workshops with Schurman, and in Amsterdam, I was a very frequent visitor. I was just flying for a day assisting him, watching him the case, shadowing him, and coming back the next day. And then I spent a month with Ali Razai and Deoganagar at the Wexner Center in Columbus when I had gone for endonasal skull base workshop. I just shared when the endonasal was not there, I was just sort of going to the OR for the functional neurosurgery. So, this is Professor Benabed. I met him in 2017, and I was really excited to have a photograph of him, Professor Lozano on the right side. And this is my real mentor, Professor Sherman. And while I was doing my first GPI pallidotomy and expanding my indications, I was continuously in touch with Dr. Sherman from Amsterdam, who kept on advising me on email. You know, it wasn't WhatsApp at that time. I used to call him, and he was very kind to actually offer me the shadowing for DBS procedures. This was the first DBS surgery we eventually did in October 2014. Now, there's no secret to success. There are no shortcuts either. You have to dream. I dreamed in 1997, and alhamdulillah, the dream came true. So what happens? You know, you do the pre-op planning, and planning is you put the Laxal frame, you take the patient to the at least 1.5 Tesla MRI. Now I've got we got the 3 Tesla MRI. So you get a nice images, you calculate the target, you see the red nucleus, it's very nicely visible. You actually are doing it indirectly, and there can be little error. So what you need to do is, you need to confirm it, and the only way of confirming is, you have to do the microelectrode recording, and you have to do the macro stimulation on a patient who's having tremors or rigidity. And as it goes, you basically fix the lead over there. So that's what is the trick. So you get high images, high quality images, you select your target, and there are formulas for that, and they are very clearly, easily available. I mean, there's no trick about that. They're widely available on the net. So this is how you put the frame on. Patient is awake. You mark it. You have done all the calculations and everything. And this is the setup. You know, in the setup, we have to really work very hard because, you know, you have to use the drapes. Nowadays, we are using drapes in every case, but at that time, it was being used only for the DBS. Now, how to keep the patient's face for 6-hour surgery so that he's breathing and we are chatting. So I copied an arm, like a Laxal arm from Dr. Sherman's OR and got it made locally. So we used to fix that, and so that the patient keeps on talking for 6 hours. So it's a fairly simple procedure. It's now a routine. You do the 2 holes. We always use the stim lock because it fixes the leads and does not let it dislodge or slip away. They're quite costly, but I have not done any DBS without this stim lock thing. We do in all cases, we do the MERs, and a positive MERs gives you a lot of confidence. Yeah, I'm just finishing. Okay. And once you have got a range of positive MERs, you basically confirm it with the stimulation. And during operation, if there is an alleviation of symptoms and the neurologist is over there, you actually are sure. Then you do the lower part of the second part of your, we do 1 stage actually. We don't do 2 stage. So it's just an hour procedure. So that's done under GA, and you implant the IPG and you fix it. But we do the programming 10 days after. Generally, the hospital says about 4 or 5 days, you know, just for the sake of our satisfaction. Alhamdulillah, till date, we don't have any infection out of 60 cases which we have done. This is the maximum precaution which we can take. Very few people are advised to stay in the theater during this procedure. We do the programming. Now, this is a very important slide. We started it in October 2014, and my other friends joined. Professor Shahzad Shams was the first one to join me. Then Professor Asif Bashir came in, then Abdul Sattar Hashim, very well trained in lesional surgery. Then he moved to the DBS as well himself. So I think if we don't mention his name, it's incomplete. Functional neurosurgery is very, very incomplete. Ahsan Bari, the AKU followed us and they started DBS surgery. Professor Rashid Juma, I was honored when I did my first DBS. No, I did my first DBS and the next day I did the second DBS in 2014. And Professor Rashid Juma traveled all the way from Karachi and he watched it, whether it's being done or not. And really, I asked him, you keep on going abroad, tell me a single step which is not done in America and we're not doing it. We were doing everything here. And Nasir Raza Awan, he has also done few cases. He's my very, he was registrar when I was assistant professor, basically. So now he's professor, mashallah. So he has done, he got his fellowship with Lozano from functional neurosurgery. So he's got a great mind, very inquisitive, and very well into the functional neurosurgery. He has done few cases. So total cases are about 175 till date over this 7-year span. Now, what we need to do is, what we have done from 1.5 Tesla, we moved to 3 Tesla MRI. Then from SurgiPlan, we moved to the FrameLink software. Nowadays, for last few cases, I am actually merging, I'm fusing with the CT scan just to see the final placement of the leads. This year, I have procured 40 Chinese DBS implants free of cost for the patient. Because I had the budget, I was in a position to exercise my power. So first time in the history of the country. So each implant costed me very little. So, but still government spent 5 crore rupees, 4 to 5 crore rupees. So we got these implants, they are being available. So we want to make DBS surgery free at Punjab Institute of Neurosciences for poor public. Now, future is, our future plan is, I really, at few years ago, I said that I prepared my mind that I'm just going to start it for the psychiatric indications. But being due to my administrative commitments as a chief executive of the hospital, really, I don't find time now. But my passion for further improvement is somehow, I can't find time for that. But I had prepared myself, then COVID came in, and the workshop for psychosurgeons are very little in the world. Very little, very few. They come once in 2 years or once in 1 year. But my passion was to start it for the obsessive compulsive disorders in this country. That is the future plan. And after all these years of coming on the media and TV, now I have realized that the best way is to stay quiet and keep on modulating. Thanks very much.